I'm Sal, and this is Debbie.
Hi guys.
And it's been a little while since we've been with you. I was under the weather for a little while, and then my travel schedule. So those of you who have emailed me and wanted to check up on me, I am alive, I am well, and we have lots more great videos coming at you. So before we get too far in, Debbie is going to pull up the live chat.
I'm trying. I'm having problems at the
If
moment.
she can. First of all, you are on my website, not on YouTube.
Well, it said to click the link, so.
Hence, you got to click the link.
Sorry guys, I'm not that
All right,
technologically
go to the live
advanced.
video. Okay, turn your volume all the way down. All right, there we go. So let us know in the live chat if you can hear us properly. And we're going to talk about cruising tonight. But first, I want to tell you we are at the Fusion Cigar Lounge here in Clearwater Beach. It is right on the main strip. And I'll tell you, if you're looking for a great vacation, Clearwater Beach is definitely where it's at. It's only about 45 minutes from the Tampa Cruise Port. So if you're sailing out of Tampa and you're looking for a great stay the night before your cruise or a few nights or even after your cruise, the hotels here are very reasonable. And it's definitely a great way to spend your pre or post cruise. And my friends here at the Cigar Lounge here at Fusion just couldn't be nicer and a great host. I'm going to adjust this light a little bit. There you go. So can everybody hear us okay?
I haven't commented yet. Let's see.
Let me know if you can
It
hear
says that it's actually hard to hear, lots of background noise. Audio is
background
choppy.
noise. So let us know, hopefully you can hear us okay.
They're saying it's a little bit broken up, quiet and crackly.
Is it?
Now they're saying we can hear very well, breaking up, so we're kind of getting a little bit of both.
All right, well, hopefully you hear us good enough to make do with the video. So today we're going to talk about cruising, and we are answering your questions here in the live chat. So if you have a question, let us know, post it up on chat. There's no topic that's off limits. It doesn't even have to be about cruising. And if you see my t-shirt, can you see my t-shirt?
Yes,
Okay.
very clear.
You'll see our Cruise film t-shirt that I have designed. It does have the Carnival logo on it. And on the back, it's got the YouTube emblem and my name. We're going to be giving some of these t-shirts away. All you have to do is do a live chat. And if you do a super chat at random, we're going to be giving away some t-shirts tonight.
They're saying that your microphone is really quiet.
My microphone is really quiet. Let me see if I can turn it up a little bit. That's because my microphone, in fact, was not on.
Ah, that would explain a lot.
All right, let me know if you can hear me better now. Live chat, what are you going to do? Let me know if you can hear me any better. So I'm going to pretty much go over everything what we were saying before.
They're saying you're muffled, but the lady with the phone is clear.
All right, that's because they probably haven't heard me yet because it takes about 30 seconds to go through.
We can't hear your wife, but you were breaking up. Can hear you much better. Okay.
All right, cool.
Much better.
Okay, so let me start this pretty much all over again. A lot of you have sent me emails asking where we have been. I was under the weather for a little while, feeling much, much better, and our travel schedule kept me from really posting any videos, but I am back. We're here in Clearwater Beach. We're going to be spending a few weeks here and be doing some live videos as well as some informational videos of things that are going on in the news about cruising, and also just some nice videos about here in Clearwater Beach. Hopefully they can hear me better now.
Seems to be, yes.
Okay, cool.
Much better.
So, as I said before, if you're sailing out of Tampa, Clearwater Beach is only about 45 minutes to an hour away from the cruise port. And I'll tell you, it's a fantastic way to spend a couple days before or after your cruise. And the sunsets here, if you walk out over the pier, I mean, it's as good, if not even better in some ways, than watching them on board the cruise ship. With the Pelicans.
It's completely different because you do have the Pelicans here, and they really make it. They really do here.
Yeah, we love the Pelicans. We're gracious enough to have a good friend, Scott, who allows us to stay on his yacht here in Clearwater Beach, and we're appreciative and love it every time he invites us down. We're going to be here for about 3 weeks. I see a super chat.
We did. We got a super chat from Blake F.
Hey, Blake.
What are the benefits to booking on the maiden voyage Mardi Gras with you other than the line?
Okay, so let's talk about the maiden voyage. First of all, I want to say hello to Blake. Blake, make sure you put the URL to your Facebook as well as your Twitter and your other social medias on there. Blake has some awesome groups for cruising, and he's been gracious enough to allow us to post his videos on there. I think he's up to like 16 or 17,000 members, so lots of great information. Well, here's the good news is that when you book on an inaugural sailing, it's a totally different experience than any other cruise you're going to go on. And the reason why is the cruise line goes all out for it. And I'm talking about the inaugural sailing out of New York. Typically, when a cruise ship is brand new, it'll come to New York first. And the first sailing of out of New York is the inaugural sailing. On the Mardi Gras, it's going to Maine and Canada. And unfortunately, we are completely booked up when it comes to the group rooms, but we can invite you at the prevailing rate to join our group. Just give me a call at 330-968-4300. But an inaugural cruise, the cruise ship, first of all, goes way out of the way. It's all white glove treatment. Typically, the big brass from Carnival will be on board, so the crew is always trying to impress. And a lot of times, New York, just as grateful as they are to get a new cruise ship coming in and out, you'll see the fanfare boats, which are the firefighting boats, which spray the water up in the air. Sometimes you'll see fireworks going off, depending on what time you leave port. But the inaugural sailing is always a fantastic experience, and the cruise line generally gives you things away. They give things away as an inaugural sailing. So if you have the chance and you want to go on the Mardi Gras, give me a call, again, 330-968-4300, or send me an email, and I'd be happy to give you the current prices for that. Right?
Good. Yes. We have a couple comments, not really many questions. A couple people, a lot of you are aware we have a Ren cruise coming up in November.
Yes.
And so a lot of people are saying, they really want us to try and make it to a Ren fair and maybe do some video from there before that cruise comes.
All right, let's talk about the Ren cruise. First of all, I do have some cabins left, so if you want to join an awesome group of people on November 11th on the Carnival Elation out of Port Canaveral. The Ren Fair Cruise is a bunch of people who frequent Renaissance festivals, usually on the weekends. And I'll be honest, as of last year, I didn't even know these things existed. And then my good friend Chris Armstrong invited us out to one in Columbus, right?
Actually, I think it was out in Cincinnati is the one that we attended.
Somewhere between Columbus and Cincinnati. And I'll tell you what, we had an absolute ball. It was a great time. And the people are just so nice. So if you want to take part in that, we do have some cabins left. It is the prevailing rate, which an inside cabin for 2 people is like $900, so you can't beat it. And for that, you'll be invited to all the Renaissance activities, private cocktail parties, all kinds of good things. It's therencruise.com, TheRencruise.com to sign up. Or again, you can give me a call, 330-968-4300. Don't call right now because obviously I'm not taking calls at the moment.
We do have somebody here with us. I'm sorry, I lost it. They're scrolling up. From E. Daniel Daisy.
E. Daniel Daisy.
Request that you would say hi to his wife, Emily.
Hi, Emily. From E. Daniel Daisy?
Yes.
E. Daniel Daisy and Emily, hello. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Again, if you do a super chat during this, we are giving away at random. When we see super chats, we're going to give away some of these great T-shirts. They're exclusive to us. You won't find them anywhere else. And they are free of charge. So if you do a super chat, well, they're not free because you got to do a super chat. I think that's $1.99 or more. And it really benefits the channel, keeps us making great videos for you. Or you can also hit the join button if you'd like to support our channel. To join is $4.99 a month, and you become part of the Sal Pitera family, and you get special cruise deals as well as private videos and things like that. What are we laughing at?
E. Daniel Daisy says thank you.
You're welcome. Again, if you're just joining us, we are in Clearwater Beach, Florida. We are at the fantastic Fusion Cigar Lounge. So if you smoke cigars like I do, and I'm told I smoke like the biggest cigars out there. Let me grab one.
Actually, they're in the case, I believe.
Just talks amongst yourselves.
Uh-oh, you just knocked it. Get this quick. Pick up that. Get that quick. Sorry, guys. We
I just
had a
spilled my drink
technical
all over the place,
difficulty.
so I am going to let Debbie
Get the
entertain you
microphone, too.
while I clean up my mess.
Sorry, guys. We're having just a little bit of technical difficulties here.
That's what I get for trying to show off my beautiful cigars. So let me get somebody from the staff. Debbie, I'm going to let you answer some questions.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
I just spilled
Do you
my
have any
drink.
questions that maybe I can try to answer?
I'm sorry.
That's funny, Juan.
live
That's
video.
definitely a cigar and not a Roman candle.
That is my cigar. The staff is going to come and clean up my mess. I'm so sorry to you guys at the Fusion. Made a mess all over the place.
We did have a couple of questions earlier on about some shore excursions, and one person had asked what would be a good shore excursion recommended for somebody who needs a scooter. I would maybe suggest maybe some of the shopping excursions, because then you could,
The problem is, and you're really asking the wrong people, because we generally don't take excursions. We're
Yeah.
more of just hop in a cab and go see the local sites. But I believe almost all the shore excursions are handicap friendly, and we'll have room for your scooter. Now, obviously, I wouldn't select things like, hiking and things of that nature.
Well, they do put a level of difficulty on it as far as what you would need as far as like your abilities and things. And
What I
I'm
would suggest,
going
and we're going to move out of the
their
way, make a little bit of room. What I would suggest for you is when you first board the ship, go down to the information desk or the shore excursion desk, because the shore excursions are different in every port, and ask them what they feel is, a good shore excursion for you. Yeah, I made a mess. And again, I want to give these guys credit, the Fusion Cigar Lounge here in Clearwater Beach. I'm so sorry I screwed up your lounge. So anyway, go to the Shore Excursion Desk or Gex Services as soon as you board, and I'm sure they will be more than happy to suggest which ones are best for you that recommend your interest. Because even if we had an idea, it would be hard at this point to tell you, because the Shore Excursions are different in every port. I see Debbie looking at me, so.
We do have a super chat from Jennifer Pitera. I might have been.
Hi, Jennifer. And we're going to give you a free T-shirt, Jennifer. So contact me through Facebook with your name and address, and we'll send you out one of these great T-shirts. Now, we won't be back in the office until the 1st of September, so your T-shirt will go out as soon as we get back.
And her question is, looking forward to booking with you for our next cruise in
Awesome.
January.
Awesome.
So we're not sure where she's going, or
Where are you headed, Jennifer? What ports? And yeah, we would love to help you out and have you join the Sal Pitera Company. I feel so bad that I spilled my drink all over the place.
we did get another super chat as well from Kevin Rodriguez.
Hi, Kevin. We're going to give you a T-shirt too, Kevin. So make sure you send me your name and address through Facebook. And what's Kevin's question?
He doesn't have a question.
Oh, well, thank you for the super chat. We really, really appreciate you supporting our channel with the super chats. So let's talk about some things that are happening in the news. I think I want to talk about first the unfortunate event that happened, I want to say earlier this month, but really it was last month since we're so early in the month. And let's talk about the child that fell overboard, because I've been getting a lot of emails asking me my opinion on it. And again, I want to start by saying this is just my opinion. And so you're certainly welcome to take my opinion in stride and form an opinion for yourself. But most people are blaming the cruise line. And I think my opinion is, yes, I think the cruise line should have had a window in place if that particular area was designed to have a window. Put the chairs back. But I also think, if I had a child, if I was the grandparents, I think we should be okay here. If I was the grandparents and I had a child, I mean, I think that before I put the child up on a window ledge, I would make sure that there was actually a window there. You want to look and make sure we're centered, Deb?
You're you're not. You're cutting,
You can just look in
you're
that one,
cutting
you
your
know,
head off.
and it'll show you in immediate time.
You're cutting your head off. You need to scoot back and over.
All right, I got to scoot back a little bit.
Sorry, guys, we're having all
Anyway,
kinds
I
of
don't
problems here
fully
tonight.
blame the cruise line. For those of you who asked my opinion, I don't fully blame the cruise line. I mean, I look at it the other way around. If you put your child on a ledge, and I think the report that I read said that the child was used to banging against the glass, and that's why he put the child there. But I'm thinking that what if they did that and the glass had broken? The outcome would be the same. And I think it's a horrible, horrible tragedy. But I think the blame falls on both sides. You coming back, Deb?
I'm trying to get it.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It is what it is.
Well, at the moment, we're cutting your head off.
Just pull it back a little. Just pull the whole thing back a little. There you go. That's good. That's good. Come on back. You're fine. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Deb, let's take a look at local chat and see if people agree with me or not. I know this is going to be a touchy subject when I brought it up, but I've had lots of emails asking me for my opinion on it.
Let's see. Let me get caught up a little bit here.
So anyway, while she's getting catch up, for those of you who are just tuning in, thank you for watching our videos. We are humbled every day that our YouTube channel has taken off the way it has. And we really appreciate it. We are in Clearwater Beach, Florida. We'll be here for at least 2 weeks, and we're going to bring you lots of videos over the next 2 weeks of both the area, some tours. We'll stay on top of some cruise news. Debbie is laughing.
I'm sorry.
But we should be back. For those of you who are expecting videos the last couple of weeks, I'm sorry I've been gone between me being under the weather and my travel schedule. We just haven't had a chance to put up many videos.
I actually want to take a second and welcome Kevin Rodriguez. He is a new member.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you for
Just signed
subscribing.
up. And the reason I was actually laughing a moment ago is because somebody had commented that, no, leave the camera where it was. We look better with our heads cut off.
Oh, nice. You don't like seeing my chrome dome? It is hot down here in Clearwater. I think I'm probably
It is
sweating.
warm. And if it's any consolation, that comment came from Ron, so we'll be okay.
Hi, Ron. Well, I think we have another super chat.
Actually, that's our new member.
Oh, Kevin.
Yes,
Right.
Kevin Rodriguez.
What other questions do we have? Or is anybody replying to my my thoughts on the unfortunate, horrifying, really, incident last month on Royal Caribbean?
The only comment that I've seen on that, and I might have missed something trying to scroll through, is that, you know, they should just never put the child there in the first place.
I agree. And that's kind of how I feel about it. It seems like today in 2019, we always want to blame somebody else for things that happen and take no responsibility. Now, am I saying the cruise line isn't responsible? I think they are, especially if that window was designed to have glass and it didn't for whatever reason. But at the same time, I mean, it is a glass window. Thank you. It is a glass window. I mean, we don't know the whole story. The glass could have broken, you know, an hour beforehand, and it certainly takes time to put new glass in. So I think the responsibility falls on both ends.
We do have another comment here from Josephine.
Hi, Joseph.
Josephine, I'm sorry.
Josephine, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hi, Josephine. Thank you for
saying
subscribing.
It's extremely sad that what happened, but it is not the cruise line's fault, and they should not blame them.
You know, I think what horrified me more than anything else is I was watching the news, I think it was the day afterwards, and they were talking about how the family hadn't even claimed the body yet from Puerto Rico, and the statement was from their lawyer. So they had lawyered up like within 24 hours, and I mean, they hadn't even claimed the body of this child yet, and they already had a lawyer ready to sue the cruise line. And to me, I just found that unfathomable. So I could be wrong again. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
If you have any other news-related items that you want me to talk about, or any questions about cruising in general, again, put them in live chat. If you do a super chat, you might get one of these great T-shirts that we've made. But you don't have to do a live chat or a super chat. Any chat, any questions, we'll try to get to as many as we can.
There's a lot of people really digging on your cigar here. One says that's a really big freaking cigar. Or I'm sorry, they said huge.
Huge. Joey, if you're watching, that huge
That's
is for you.
exactly what I thought too. So if she is watching, I'm sure we'll get a comment here soon.
This is an Asylum 8x80.
Asylum 13.
Asylum 13 8x8. It is a very large cigar. It's probably one of the biggest out there. That's like not a novelty cigar, and it's infused with like a pepper taste. And yeah, I do smoke cigars. So let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about a lot of questions we get about the smoking area on board the cruise ship and where you can smoke and where you can't
Very
smoke.
good question.
So,
especially it depends on what you're smoking. too.
yes. So let's start with marijuana or marijuana products such as CBD oil. Now, if I sound ignorant when I'm talking about the product, that's because I don't smoke marijuana.
They want you to light your cigar, by the way.
I'll light my cigar. Can you put a hole in it? I'm not going back there again because I make mistakes when I go back there. So anyway, marijuana products, I know they're legal in a lot of the United States, but I'm here to tell you, on a cruise ship, there is no marijuana or no marijuana byproducts like your CBD oils or anything that's infused in a vape or anything of that nature. If it even derives from marijuana, it is not welcome on a cruise ship, and you will actually get arrested for it. So please don't board the cruise ship, even if you have a medical necessity. Do not bring marijuana or marijuana products. Now, smoking and vaping, let's talk about that. Smoking and vaping, as far as the cruise ship is concerned, are the exact same thing. Most cruise ships are non-smoking with the exception of designated areas. Now, those designated areas are usually the casino and casino bar. And then there's usually a few designated areas on the exterior of the cruise ship. So when you get on board, look at your information schedule that they give you. On Carnival, it's called the Fun Times, and it will tell you what the designated areas are. Now, smoking cigars. I have my torch in my pocket. Smoking cigars is different. Smoking cigars is not considered the same as smoking a cigarette, and unfortunately, they are not welcome in the casino, and only very specific designated smoking areas on the outside of the ship. So not every designated smoking area outside or inside is going to allow you a cigar. So for those of you that are cigar aficionados such as me, you only get specific locations, and unfortunately on many ships, they're not the best of locations. They're right underneath the funnel where you have the loud intakes. It's unfortunate, but if you want to enjoy a cigar, that's where you got to go enjoy it. Can you hold that for a moment?
I can. We have another super chat from Blake F.
Hi again, Blake. Blake, you're going to get a t-shirt, buddy.
Okay, let's see. What do we have here?
Oh, that's good.
We have one here asking, what is your favorite cruise line and your favorite ship from that line?
Okay, so we need to be frank about something, and I get a lot of people that accuse us of being pro-Carnival because Carnival pays us to be pro-Carnival. First of all, hands down, and I think Debbie will agree with me, our favorite cruise line is Carnival. We grew up on sailing Carnival, quite literally. And we do get benefits when we sail on board Carnival. But that's not the reason we like Carnival. I like to tell people that Carnival treats us good because we like Carnival. We don't like Carnival because Carnival treats us good. Was that fair to say?
I would agree with that.
But as far as cruise lines, I think that there is no right or wrong cruise line. Each cruise line goes for a specific demographic. Certainly, if you're 55, 60 years old and want a real elegant experience, maybe you want to consider Cunard Cruise Line, which is the highest end cruise line out there. Incidentally, is also owned by Carnival. For those of you who think Carnival is the lowest line cruise line, they also own the highest line as well. But each cruise line has its own demographic. We personally are preference to Carnival only because we like Carnival. There is no real reason why. And as far as my favorite ship, I think for me it has to be the Conquest when we did that Halloween cruise. I like the overall layout of the Conquest. It's a medium-sized ship. How about you? Certainly you had to know that was coming.
Well, yeah, but I don't know that I have a favorite or a least favorite. I think just being on a cruise ship and just getting away with, your loved ones is just, makes the whole experience.
Can you guys all see my smoke? Remember, you guys are the ones that asked me to light it. I
Yes.
wasn't going to light it.
We actually have somebody saying, holy Cheech and Chong, and that's why I was laughing a second ago.
Just like Cheech and Chong, except it's not marijuana.
We did get another super chat from a Paul Holden. Says he doesn't have any questions.
Hi, Paul.
But he does absolutely love watching your videos. And we did have another
Thank
person.
you, Paul. I really appreciate you as well. I appreciate all of you that watch our videos.
We have another person saying that they're having trouble with purchasing a super chat, and they want to know if they can do that on Facebook.
No, but what you can do if you like, there is a join button at the bottom of the page. If you want to support our channel financially, you can become a member of our channel. That's $4.99 a month. You certainly don't have to. We appreciate everybody who subscribes to our channel, whether you join or not. If you do join the channel, you get at least one video a month that's only for those people who are joined members, as well as special cruise offers and special merchandise we give out as well. So if you want to support our channel financially, great. If you don't, it's certainly not required. We really love cruising. We love Carnival, and we're always happy to bring you that information, whether you support us financially or not. We appreciate the financial support because it does cost a lot of money to make these videos and time, and it is certainly appreciated.
We're actually getting quite a few questions based on the whole dumping situation and the lawsuit and what happened with Carnival.
Yes.
What's the outcome of that? Is there any more lawsuits coming up aboard or any more court dates? And
Okay.
just kind of the whole general background of where
So
we're
let's
at.
talk about that for a minute. A few years ago, I believe it was Princess, I think it was almost 3 years ago, Princess, and I believe, again, I'm going off the top of my head here, so I could be wrong about which lines these are, was accused of dumping off of the coast of Alaska. And if you know anything about the different types of dumping that can be happen on a cruise line, they were accused of dumping brown water, which is wastewater. It's cleansed by the cruise ship, but it is filled with human waste. And there's a debate on whether that hurts whether that hurts the planet or not. Some say it doesn't because it is filtered and cleaned before it was put out. So Carnival was put on probation and had a huge fine back then. And then last year, a federal judge in Miami accused them again of doing the same thing, this time an actual Carnival ship. And she did something that personally I think was a horrible thing. And that she said to the media that she had a good mind to keep Carnival ban Carnival rather, from stopping in any United States port. And she demanded a hearing the following month and the president of the company to be there at the hearing. Now, I put out a video back then of the cost of what a ban would do to the economy if you banned Carnival Cruise Lines from pulling in the United States. And that's why I think the judge was completely irresponsible for even making that comment. Because whether you like cruising or don't like cruising, to put a ban on a cruise line because of a few individuals' decision, I mean, you're talking about not only millions of vacations, you're talking about the economies of lots of islands through the Caribbean that would literally be bankrupted if the cruise ships don't go there. And then you'd be talking about, you know, the massive amounts of food and supplies that Carnival buys from the United States. I mean, you would literally find farmers going out of business just because the cruise line stopped buying, you know, tons and tons and tons of food off of them, and meats, and I mean even toilet paper and things of that nature. Just the economy of so many places on the planet, as well as all of the people who work for the cruise line, both on board and stateside. I mean, it would really just devastate economies. People don't realize how much the cruise ships really affect the economies, both here in the States and abroad. So they had that meeting. Carnival was again put on probation. They were given a huge fine. Yes, Joey, I said huge. And life goes on. As of right now, I don't believe there's any other sanctions against the cruise line. And I think that Carnival has learned its lesson. And I'm here to tell you that Carnival, whether the debate is whether or not that the things that you were dumping were bad for the environment or not, just don't do it. It's that simple. Whether it's bad for the environment, not bad for the environment, it is against the law. And why put your business in jeopardy or the economies of all the people who depend on you in jeopardy over a few dollars of getting rid of waste once you get back in port? So I definitely say yes, Carnival, you are at fault. You know the rules, but hopefully that's the end of it. What else we got?
George Ruffruff would like you to say my name. He thinks he would feel like an absolute celebrity, and then he wants
Hi,
us
George.
to smile.
What is it?
George Ruffruff, I might be pronouncing that wrong, and he says,
You're
"Come
holding
on,
that up like I can
smile."
see it.
I'm sorry.
George Ruffruff?
I believe.
Hi, George. Thanks for tuning in. We have any more questions?
I have not gotten a whole lot.
We are at the Fusion Cigar Lounge here in Clearwater Beach, Florida. Now, the coolest thing is going to happen in about a half an hour. So if we're still going, come then. We'll bring this upstairs. But you're familiar with the Cannonball Run movies?
Yep.
Well, the Cannonball Run is apparently a real race.
Yep.
And they are stopping here tonight. And they'll have all of their cars upstairs on the deck upstairs. And we're going to go up, and I don't know if we're going to bring it to you live up there, but we're definitely going to take some video. If we're still going here, we'll bring the tripod up and we'll take a look at the cars when they arrive. But yeah, apparently, I didn't even realize that was a real thing. Did you?
You know, I guess I never really thought about it, to be honest with you.
I wonder, well, you know, Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds are no longer with us, but I'm sure they'll be up there in spirit.
Oh,
If you're too young and you don't know the Cannonball Run races, you should certainly Google it. They're great movies from back in the 70s and 80s. I think we have another super chat.
Blake F. again.
Hey, Blake.
Is
Thanks
wanting
again,
to
buddy.
know, is it likely to see any celebrities on the Mardi Gras?
I don't know. I've only ever seen a couple of celebrities on board. I believe we saw Sinbad on board once. And when Dominic and I were on board the Carnival Vista, Shaq was on board filming one of the commercials. It was the 30-second commercial where he takes 30 seconds and he puts glitter over top of Newlywed's head and he goes in the pool. And they filmed that in one afternoon. Coincidentally, that is the same day that Carnival threatened to boot me off the ship for having video equipment on board. And there is a video about that as well. That's kind of the beginning of my channel. So I'm appreciative of Shaq being on board, because if Shaq wasn't on board, we wouldn't have still been on port.
That's true. That's true. We're having several people asking on how they join. They're not able to locate the join button. If you
Okay.
can...
There should be a join button below where you see my videos. I'm not sure, maybe it's because we're in a live video, it's not there. But if you go to any of my other videos that are posted underneath, right next to the subscribe button, you'll see a button that says join. And that join button will allow you to become a member of our channel. That's $4.99 a month. And it goes directly to helping us produce more videos.
Let's see. What do you recommend to do in Cozumel is a question by Josephine, who we had already commented before. And the reason I brought this question up is because I know you and Dominic went to Cozumel, and one of the things you told me you guys did, you
you were there too, you just
highly
didn't get
of
off
it.
the ship.
Well, that's true, but...
Okay, so in Cozumel, we've done a lot of fun things. And Cozumel is probably one of the cruise ports that lots and lots of cruise ships stop there. So your odds of booking a cruise that goes to Cozumel is fantastic. If you want to stay on a budget, I recommend, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher this name, it's called the Chukanub State Park. If you get a cab, I believe it's a $4 cab fare. It's a real close ride, and it has a beautiful, pristine beach. There is a small charge to get in. They have snorkeling on board there at the park. Very small fee to rent your snorkeling gear, and the fish are just abundant. They have swimming with the dolphins there, all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're on a budget, I definitely recommend that. And on a side note, if you happen to see a fish swimming around there wearing a gold chain, tell him he stole my chain while I was snorkeling.
I think that was, at least 6 to 10 years ago.
He's
or so,
an old
if not
fish.
more.
He's an old fish. Also in Cozumel, it's just a short cab ride to downtown where you'll find lots of great shopping. It's one strip right along the ocean front and tons of great shopping. And what I did with Dominic on this last one, and we've never done before, and I want to thank Alamo for sponsoring this, we rented a little dune buggy type vehicle, and I believe they rent for like $60. And we actually drove the perimeter of Cozumel. It took us about 2 hours to drive it. And along the way, you'll find lots of little stands along the side of the road where they sell knickknacks and lots of great restaurants where you get tacos and some local food. And we just had an absolute blast doing that. And we stopped everywhere on the island, and it was really a good time. And then the other thing that I recommend, and you do need to have reservations for this well in advance, I'm told, and we put a video out on it, is Mr. Sancho's. Mr. Sancho's is a resort area with a great beach, and in there they have free water sports, free drinks, free lunch. There are upscale things you can buy there as well, like jet ski rentals and massages. But Mr. Sancho's, it's not free to get in, so you do need a reservation. I think it's about $50 a person for the day. While we only stopped there to make a video and get a quick tour, it did look like an absolute fantastic place to visit. So thank you for Mr. Sancho's for giving us that quick tour. And that's my opinion of Cozumel. What do you have?
You know, again, there's only one excursion that I've ever done, and it's all the ports that has really stood out because it was something so unique, and that would have been the swimming with the dolphins. Other than
that wasn't in Cozumel, though.
No, that's what I'm saying with all the ports. Other than that,
that was in Amber Cove, Dominican Republic?
Yes, that was in Amber. Yes, and back not that far back ago in January.
And we have a video on that as well.
I would say, you know, I think my favorite thing is just going around and exploring the island. You know, one of the things that I like to do is I like to go and I like to see how people in different countries live. You know, I like to see their atmosphere, just their way of life. You know, see how different the countries are is what I enjoy more than anything.
I think that's what I enjoy too, and maybe it's because we're on a budget too, but we get off the ship, and in most ports you can just walk off the ship and walk into town. Now I do caution you, stay in the tourist areas.
Yes.
Especially in countries like Belize. You'll know where you should stay. Don't wander off into any alleyways. If you think it's unsafe, it probably is. So just stay out of that area. And I remember that one time in Belize, we started walking down an alley thinking we could cross from one main road to another, and the tourist police ran up to us and told us to immediately turn around.
And he says, you know, you guys don't want to go down that way, turn around, go back. So we were like, okay.
So stay on the beaten path. You can certainly visit the areas where like people live and live their lives, but don't go too far off the beaten path in a third world country. And I believe right now the Bahamas is having an issue. So if you're in the Bahamas, stay in the areas that are designated for tourists.
I actually have two different questions, and they're completely different spectrums. So I'll touch the one based on one, which is I think can be a quick answer. Somebody had said that they saw while booking online that you get a bathrobe, and I think maybe you can kind of explain that some rooms come with it as far as the use of it, but if you want to take one home, you actually have to purchase them, and then other ones you maybe don't have to ask you.
I think you just did.
That's just true. Well, you can reiterate. You can go into more detail.
So it used to be that Carnival put bathrobes in every room. And the bathrobes are nice, and if you were in a suite, you got an upscale bathrobe with like the checker design on it.
And they're softer, like a spa.
Carnival no longer does that. I think it was just, you know, a cutback over time. But when you first board the ship, when you meet your room steward for the first time, they're going to come around and they're going to ask you a few questions. First of all, your steward will introduce him or herself. They're going to give you a business card in case you need something after hours, you can get a hold of them. And then they're going to ask you whether or not you would like your room made up once a day or twice a day. I strongly recommend twice a day because your room steward will just make or break your vacation. And that turn-down service at night is really nice. And then they're going to ask you if you need extra pillows, extra blankets, or if you want a robe in your room. And if they do give you robes in your room, you can wear them throughout the cruise ship. Lots of people wear them up to the pool or to the hot tubs. But if you do take the robe home at the end of the cruise, they will charge you the retail price for the robe. So what I would recommend, if you want the robe, and I've purchased robes,
yes.
Tell your steward at the end of the cruise that you would like a brand new robe, and you're going to leave the used one in your cabin, because it's the same price either way. So the one that they put in your cabin is going to be a used robe. It's not going to be one that was brand new when you got it. So there's no sense in taking the used one home when you can purchase a new one. By the way, before I answer that next question, the very next super chat we have is going to get a t-shirt of $5.99 or more.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a special t-shirt with my picture on it. How's that?
There you go. One question, I'm not quite sure what they're asking. Maybe you might be able to understand it. They want to know if they're allowed to bring Power Pad on the cruise.
Power Pad? All right, so I can think of that as one is two things. If you're talking about an iPad, yes. If you're talking about a surge protector,
See, that's what I thought maybe.
then yes, you can. You want to get actually the cheapest surge protector you can buy at like Walmart for $3.99 because you're not allowed to have the ones that are actually surge protected. You can have a power strip as long as it doesn't have the built-in surge protection. You can use it. Now I have had them both styles, and the cruise line has never taken it away from me. But if you don't want to bring one, if you ask your room steward for one, they will almost always have an extra one and they can bring to you. Also, and I will put this down in the description later, we were fortunate enough, and there's going to be a video about this in the next couple of weeks. A company sent us those power
Yes.
adapters for your stateroom, and they worked wonderful. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but
They're
when we
actually
get back
really
tonight, I will
cool.
put a link in the description of this, and they worked fantastic. And I'm going to do a video on exclusively using them here in the next couple of weeks. So I strongly, strongly recommend it.
Well, there was one that was actually really cool because it actually had all the different adapters to it for no matter where you're going. And all you had to do was like a little flip of a switch and it would automatically adapt to wherever you're going and for wherever you're coming from. It was actually a really neat idea.
Yeah, and it worked out really well. Do you remember the name of it?
I don't, unfortunately.
I don't, and I'm sorry. I really appreciate you sending them to
Offhand, I
us.
don't remember.
I will definitely put a link in the description within 24 hours, and they weren't expensive at all, and you can watch the video on it here in a couple of weeks and they did send it to us for free, so I guess it would be considered a sponsored thing.
Yes.
But if you know me and you watch our videos, I don't ever endorse something that I don't like. If somebody sends me something that I didn't enjoy, I don't just tell people to buy it because somebody sent it to me. And on that note, if you have something you would like to send to us to use, our address is down below in the description of this video. And even if it's not something you want to evaluate, if you just want to send us a card or anything at all, something representing your home state, feel free to send it to our post office box. We do try and mention everything that we receive in our videos, so if you want to send us something, it doesn't make a difference what it is as long as it's legal.
Yes,
to our post office box.
It does take us a little bit of time to get those on videos and out to you guys. Sometimes it takes us a little bit of time to get over to our P.O. box and actually check them and get those videos up. So if you do send something, just give us a little bit of time.
Can I get a Coke, please? Would you like a drink, a beer?
Yes, please. Can I do a Miller Lite in a bottle, please?
I will try not to spill this one, I promise.
Sorry about that,
that is our
guys.
beautiful waitress here at the Fusion Cigar Lounge. If you're here in the Tampa Clearwater Beach area, come down and join us. We're going to be here for several hours. The video is not going to stay on for several hours, but we're going to be here, and
Come
this
down and
lounge
have a
is
cigar
awesome.
with us.
Absolutely.
Have a drink and a cigar, absolutely.
So what else do we have? Again, I'm waiting for that $5.99 or more super chat for a very special, one-of-a-kind T-shirt. No one else on earth will have it but you. And I want to tell you one other thing. One thing that we're going to do, this was my son's idea, and I think it's a fantastic idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea as well. So this goes out to Dominic.
And this applies to the shirts we're giving away now, too. But anytime I see somebody on board wearing one of my T-shirts, will automatically get a free drink from me.
Yep.
So if you see me on board and you're wearing one of my T-shirts, so if you go on a cruise and you've won one of our T-shirts, and I will be putting them online to sell next month as well in all my videos. But if you're on board and you see me in a T-shirt, say hello and you will automatically get a free drink from me. Thank you.
Cheers.
Ooh, that's good. I don't know if you're supposed to be drinking beer on the air. I think that's just on TV.
I don't know. I've done it before.
So anyway, what other questions do we have?
As far as the shirts go, we can get any size. We just need to know in advance, and we can work around that. Some people are asking about specific sizes.
Right, and we'll have those online next month. Or if you do a super chat, the next person to do a $5.99 super chat or more is automatically going to get a free shirt. And since they're going to sell for between $19 and $25 next month, it's a great way to get one for a much cheaper right now. So now let's talk about the Ren Cruise specifically, because I know a lot of my Ren Cruise passengers are watching.
They are, actually. We've had quite a few different comments on the Ren Cruise itself and how they're first-time cruisers and how they're excited, and it's coming up very quickly. That'll be in November.
It is. So again, we do still have some cabins available for the Ren Cruise. It's November 11th of this year. out of Port Canaveral, and it's going to be a fantastic cruise. Now, all of my Ren Cruise passengers who are already booked, you should have gotten your booking number just a couple of days ago. Now is the time to go into carnival.com and start pre-registering for your cruise. Now, when you pre-register, you're going to want to have a few things handy, such as your booking number, your last name, the cruise ship, which is the Carnival Elation, and the cruise date of November 11th. And then you're also going to have your passport or whatever travel documentation that you're going to be using to board the cruise ship, because when you check in on carnival.com, it's also pre-registering you with United States Customs and Homeland Security. Now, don't worry, it's not as daunting as it sounds. It's very basic information, and I have never seen anybody get denied by Customs and Homeland Security. But the ship is required, just to make sure there's nobody dangerous getting on board, to protect you, to give a passenger manifest to the government at least 7 days prior to the cruise. So you want to make sure you do that at least 7 days prior, and it'll save you a lot of time when you get to the cruise port. So you want to do that now, and then after you supply that information, you'll be able to look at shore excursions, look at internet plans, drink packages, in-room, stateroom gifts, and a lot more, all on carnival.com. So do that as soon as possible. It's also going to ask you for your credit card that you plan on using for your onboard purchases. Now, for my first-time cruisers, what that means is everything on board the Carnival Elation, with the exception of your casino and bingo, it's a cashless system. They're going to give you a sign-in sale card. It's basically like a room key, and everything you purchase on board will be automatically billed to your room. And then at the end of the cruise, about 24 hours later, the cruise line will bill your total bill account to your account that you provide them with your credit card before you ever board the cruise ship. So you want to do all that as soon as possible, and I think we have our free t-shirt.
We do, and she gets to wear your face on her shirt.
Nice.
So this is actually Just Me Taxi Lockwood. Sent us a super chat, so she is the lucky winner of a t-shirt.
Very cool. Thank you very much. And what is this one?
That just notifies me that there's one on the bottom, because I'm not
Very cool. And was that $5.99 one?
Yes, that was a $10 donation.
Very cool. We're going to do that another time, too. So the next one of $5.99 where he's also going to get a t-shirt. How's that?
That will work.
All right, cool. What other questions do we have? First of all, did she have a question? And thank you very much for that super chat.
I do not see a question from her. She's just saying, yay!
All right. So we're also going to be doing a Sal Pitera Cruise. I'm open for the date, so if you have a specific date that you think is the best for cruising, put it down in the comments down below. We're going to be doing a Sal Pitera Cruise where it's going to be a great cruise. I'm not sure the date yet. We're going to select it in the next 30 days, where you get to come on board, meet me. I'm working on getting some other YouTubers there as well. Some of your favorite YouTubers. I'm not going to mention them by name, but I've already invited a couple people. And we'll not only have some free cocktail parties, but we'll have some meet and greets, some autograph signings. Certainly you don't want my autograph, but some of these other YouTubers will be autograph worthy. And time to sit down, and we're even going to teach people how to make YouTube videos and how we got started, and have some great seminars. And it's all going to be included in the price of the cruise. So let me know what you think would be the best month for that, and if you'd be interested in going. Right now, again, we haven't selected a date, so let us know down in the comments, and we will make sure we read all those comments before we select an actual date for it. But that should be a lot of fun.
I don't really have any questions coming up just as of yet, but I have noticed a couple of our friends and family have logged in just to say hi to you guys. Anthony, your brother, is on right now.
What's up,
saying hi. Also, Rick Dennis, he is a neighbor of ours.
Ricky. Hey, Rick.
Let's see, what do we have here?
Rick always watches my stuff.
He does.
How's your wife, Rick?
Rick and Tracy.
I hope everything's going well for the two of you.
Hi, guys.
You guys should come on the cruise with us.
Guys, we don't have any questions going on right now.
I wonder if Joey's watching.
I have not seen Joey on yet.
Joey and Dave are our neighbors. We've recently gotten Joey hooked on smoking cigars.
We have.
And they will be coming on the Ren Cruise with us.
They will be.
Yes.
Let's see.
Again, while she's looking for questions, if you have any questions, whether it be cruise-related, news-related, makes no difference. There are no topics off limits. Put it down in the comments. And if you're just joining us, we are in Clearwater Beach down in Florida. Our very, very close friend, I would venture to say Scott and Nancy are more like family to us. Scott and Nancy invited us to come down they about once a year, sometimes twice, and spend time on their yacht here in Clearwater Beach, and we have an absolutely amazing time. So Scott and Nancy, if you guys are watching, thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. If you haven't been to Clearwater Beach, you definitely need to come. It's a great place to come either before or after your cruise. It's only about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic outside of the Port of Tampa. And we're at the Fusion Cigar Lounge, who is gracious to us every single time we come here. And the Fusion Cigar Lounge has a patio outside, a great indoor area, and the atmosphere is always fantastic. So if you're here, make sure you visit the Fusion Cigar Lounge. You'll have an absolutely great time.
Sorry, guys,
What
I've
did you
lost
do?
my live feed. Again, for those who didn't catch the very beginning, I'm not exactly technologically savvy. All right, I think I'm back here.
All right.
Okay. What is the best time to cruise that we like? I think you and I prefer the hurricane season, personally.
We do. We're oddballs when it comes to that. We actually like when hurricanes are in town, and we have two great hurricane experiences. The first experience.
One not so great one, but that wasn't
It
because
worked out.
It wasn't because of the cruise ship. It was more because of our vehicle afterwards.
Yes.
So.
If those of you who know me, I have a Hummer, a bright yellow Hummer, and I keep it in pristine condition. Everything from the inside to the outside is in immaculate condition, literally showroom ready. And we went down and sailed out of Port Canaveral, and we parked our car at the Holiday Inn Resort in a covered parking lot, but it didn't have any sides. And we went out on the cruise, and we knew there was a hurricane coming, but the hurricane was scheduled to hit Port Canaveral before we did. So it hit Port Canaveral, we were still behind it, and we had great weather the entire cruise. And when we got back to Port Canaveral, this was the big one that hit like Port Canaveral in North and South Carolina.
Yeah.
We got back to Florida, and when we got there, I mean, Florida was like a ghost town. It was closed. There wasn't, except for the people getting off the cruise ship, there wasn't a car on the highway. It was very eerie. But when we got back to find my Hummer, we found that the Holiday Inn, its doors were propped open.
It was a ghost
Yeah,
town.
we went inside, and
Yeah.
all they had was like these giant white poster boards lined up all around the lobby with a list of
Yeah.
things to fix. And then we went over to my Hummer. Let's just say we limped back to Ohio, and every single piece of exterior paneling on my Hummer and chrome had to be completely replaced. The entire exterior of the vehicle. We brought it to Sabetti's Body Shop in Kent, Ohio. I'm going to give them a plug because they did an absolute fantastic job. They do factory work. So if you're in Northeast Ohio and you need a body shop, visit Mike Sabetti's. And then the other odd thing about that is, luckily we had a full tank of gas.
Yeah.
Because we started driving north, and we got into South Carolina, and then we started realizing, okay, we better stop for gas. And we started getting off the highway, and at the bottom of every exit ramp, you had a bunch of police officers telling you couldn't get off. You had to get back on the highway. So eventually we were on E, and you still couldn't get off the highway. So we decided, you know what? We're going to go west instead of east looking for a gas station. And we started driving west, and we got like 40 miles west, and it was like 2 minutes to midnight. And we were in the middle of nowhere. It was like all farmland. And there was this gas station just flipped its lights off. And we pulled in, and I begged the guy to give us a tank of gas. And luckily, he felt bad for us and opened back up. Otherwise, we'd have been stranded like in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we would have had to have waited there in the car overnight until the morning when they woke up.
Yeah, because we were beyond empty. But the other time that was hurricane worthy, and this was probably one of the most fun experiences we've ever had.
We were out of New Orleans.
Out of New Orleans. If you sailed out of New Orleans, what you have to know is that once you board the ship, you've got to travel down the Mississippi River for 4 to 6 hours, depending on the speed of your cruise ship, before you get into the Gulf of Mexico. And it's funny because I had mentioned at the beginning of the cruise that nothing weird ever happens to us, all these news stories you hear.
Yes, we did.
So then we get out to the cruise, and we get to Progreso, Mexico, and we find out there's a hurricane brewing. So if the hurricane is behind us, we go to Progreso, I think we went to Cozumel and some other place, and then we're sailing back up, and we get to the mouth of the Gulf, which is a small opening where you got to enter the Gulf of Mexico before you get to the Mississippi River. And the captain comes on board and he says, the good news is the hurricane is about a day behind us, so we should be able to get to our vehicles or get to our flights and be able to get home with the hurricane still a day later. So everything was fine. And then about halfway to the Mississippi River, the captain comes on with those magic bells, doom, doom, doom. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, well, I should say, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, because, they all kind of speak broken Italian. Unfortunately, due to the hurricane coming, the Mississippi River has closed down to all marine traffic in preparation for the hurricane. So now we're stuck in the middle of the Gulf, and the hurricane is at the opening of the Gulf, so there's no escape. We spent 4 extra days at sea while the hurricane literally passed directly over top of us. They locked every exterior door to the ship with chains so you couldn't go outside. There's lightning and rain and wind outside, and the sky's constantly lit up with the lightning. The boat's just bobbing like you're a cork bobbing at sea. We didn't know if we were going to live or die. The lights flickered, the internet was out, the phones were out.
Things were falling off a table.
Things were falling. You didn't know if you were going to live or die.
The horizon on the window went from the bottom of the window to the top of the window and back. And it was.
But I'll tell you, it was probably the most fun cruise we've ever taken. So we're odd, so if you're going to ask us what the best time is, we're not the best people to ask.
We do have a couple questions. One person is asking, first of all, somebody is taking their first Carnival cruise.
Hey, congratulations.
Because of you. You've given it a lot of hype. They've been on cruises before, but
Very cool.
They are coming up.
See, Carnival, that's why you need to sponsor us.
And we do have somebody asking, what are some things that maybe you recommend for first-time cruisers?
Okay, so my advice to first-time cruisers is always exactly the same. Just enjoy yourself. Don't fret the small stuff. So if you're going to, and I always equate this to going to Orlando. If you're taking a family trip to Orlando, and let's say you're going to Disney World, and you're going to stay for a week to 10 days, while you're there, you're going to find a restaurant you don't like, you're going to find a person that works in a shop you don't like. Some people, over the course of your stay, in staying for a week, 10 days, are going to rub you the wrong way. But you're still going to enjoy the vacation. You're going to find all the fun stuff. On board a cruise ship is exactly the same. It's literally like being in a floating city. And as you're going around that city, you're going to find things you love and things you don't like so much. My advice to first-time cruisers is don't sweat it. Just enjoy it. Just let back, relax, and don't let any one person or any one thing make you have a bad vacation. I think that's always my best advice.
I would agree. We do have some people asking that had won the t-shirts. How do they let you know how to get in touch with them?
Just contact me through my personal Facebook page. Don't contact me through the Sal Pitera page. Look for my personal page and contact me through Messenger. I get so many messages on the actual Sal Pitera information page that sometimes they slip through the cracks. So find my personal Facebook page, just send me a message with your name and address and that you want a t-shirt, and we'll get it out to you on September 1st or right around there.
Okay.
And again, we're still waiting for a $5.99 or more super chat for our next t-shirt.
We have a question about the Cheers package.
Yes.
They're asking, this is actually Jason Wheeler.
Hi, Jason.
Is getting.
I know Jason Wheeler, I think. Maybe.
I don't know. He wants to know, is getting the Cheers package really worth it if you're going to be drinking just about all the different drinks, including alcohol as well as non-alcoholic?
Okay, so let's first go over what the Cheers package actually includes, and then I'll give you my opinion on it, and you can share your thoughts as well. So the Cheers package, I'm not going to quote the exact price because it just went up. It's about $60 a day per person over 21 in your cabin. And everybody in the cabin over 21 must purchase the Cheers package in order for anyone to purchase it. And here's what you get for it. You get 15 alcoholic beverages per day, as long as the value of the beverage is $20 or less. You also get 25% off anything like a bottle of wine or things that would cost over $20. And you get 15 per day. After 15, you are cut off. You can't even buy a drink.
Right.
You're totally cut off after the 15th drink. But it also includes pretty much everything else you can drink on board, from the coffee shop, coffee's free on board, but the specialty coffee shops, such as your cappuccinos and lattes.
Well, that comes with restrictions as well, though. You can get the specialty coffees and you can get the milkshakes and stuff. However, if you make them into adult drinks and have a little bit of liquor added to those drinks, that does count as one of your 15.
Right. So it's unlimited coffee from the specialty coffee shop or the milkshake shop. But again, if you add liquor, because a lot of the coffee shop also has liquor you can add to your coffee, then it counts as one of your 15 drinks. It also includes your sodas, it includes all of your fruit drinks, pretty much anything you can drink on board, it will cover. And the alcoholic beverages are 15 per day, and the non-alcoholic is unlimited and does not count towards your 15%.
Right.
So definitely worth it for me. I don't really drink that much, so I never get my 15 drinks a day. I'm lucky to have 2 or 3. Debbie does like to drink socially, and she probably doesn't do 15 either.
I don't think we've ever done 15 in a day.
The reason why we get it, and it ultimately costs us more than if we were to buy it. But the reason we get it is because when Debbie's at dinner, she's frugal, and if she wants to get a drink, she'll always be looking at that check saying, you know, what's our bill so far? Should I get a drink? Should I not get a drink? So by budgeting it in advance and buying the drink package, I know that she's going to relax and just order a drink as she wants it and not have to worry about that adding up on board. And for us, it's worth it just for that reason alone.
We do have another super chat.
Cool. T-shirt worthy?
Yes, it is
Outstanding.
George Unger.
Hi, George.
A super chat of $20.
Very cool. Thank you, George, very much.
Has a very important question. Would like to know, what do you think would be the best Carnival cruise to take my wife for our 10-year anniversary?
Happy anniversary.
I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old that I'm taking. I'm sorry, that I'm assuming it says thinking of going. Plus, my dad will be celebrating his 60th birthday in mid to late March.
Okay. First of all, George, if you book your cruise through me, and again, my phone number is 330-968-4300, or salpitera@gmail.com, I would be happy to help you. Make sure you let me know about these celebrations, and I will make sure that the ship does something special for you and your family over and above the normal stuff that the ship does for celebrations. I want to congratulate you on your 10th anniversary. That is always fun. For our 10th anniversary, we got remarried in Montego Bay.
We did.
And it's certainly a lot of fun. So, George, if you want to book through us, let me know. If you don't book through us, let either Carnival know when you book directly, or let your travel agent know, because Carnival does have a typical celebration thing that they do. We'll get you something a little over and above that. And as for your kids, I think Carnival probably has the best kids program at sea, with, of course, the exception of Disney Cruise Lines. They specialize in kids, but you're also going to pay up to 5 times the amount for the cruise. But
and Carnival really does do a good job with the kids. You know, our kids have been cruising ever since they were wee little, and the first time you take them there, you know, they might be a little skeptical of it, but, you know, after that first time, it's like, I want to go back, and so.
Yep, we got to move our tripod a little bit. No problem. There you go. How's that? Can we still see us?
Yeah, just switch back just a little bit.
They're getting a little busier, so we're going to get out of the way a little bit. We're not going to be staying on the air much longer. But yeah, the kids program is fantastic. You will love it. Your kids are absolutely going to love it. You're going to find that you're sitting out on deck and you'll see the kids parade going around the ship. The kids absolutely have a great time. Our kids grew up on a cruise ship and absolutely love every minute of cruising. They'll be going with us in November on the Ren cruise.
Yes, they will.
So, George, let me know. We'd be happy to book for you. Also, for all of you that are watching who are currently booked with Carnival but not booked through us, we have a special right now where if you transfer your booking to us, and when you do that, nothing changes. Your price stays the same. Any special offers that Carnival gave you stays the same. Everything stays exactly the same. The only difference is you're going through us. We will give you, at most cases, at least a $50 onboard credit just for transferring that booking through us. So you can contact me anytime at salpitera@gmail.com or give me a call. Don't give me a call right now because
he's actually asked, you know, what's the best time to call, so it's a perfect time.
Anytime after tomorrow, if you do get my voicemail, we are happy to call you back. But yes, if you're booked directly through Carnival, now the only limitation on that is you cannot have made your final payment yet. If you've made your final payment through Carnival, you're stuck going directly through Carnival, but we're still here to help you if you have any questions. But for those of you who haven't made your final payment, who are booked directly through Carnival, give us a call and we'll get you at least a $50 onboard credit towards on your cruise.
We do have some people asking that it might be a good idea to let our viewers know that even though Carnival says you have to be back on board at a specific time, it's usually a good idea to be back a little bit earlier than that.
You just did. When you get off the cruise ship in port, Carnival's going to tell you what time you have to be back on board. You want to be back on board about an hour before that. There is nothing worse than missing the cruise ship. I promise you, unless you're on an excursion that you purchased through the cruise line, is late getting back, the cruise ship in most cases is not going to wait for you. So if you're back late, you'll be waving goodbye to the cruise ship and finding your own way to the next port of call at your own expense. So I strongly recommend always get back at least an hour early before your cruise ship is supposed to be back. And again, it's the same for excursions. If you're going to buy an excursion, it's very tempting to buy an excursion on the internet. A lot of times they're done through the exact same people that provide the shore excursions that you buy directly from the cruise line, whether it be Carnival, Royal Caribbean, any of the cruise lines. For the small price difference, I strongly, strongly recommend buying it from the cruise line, because if the shore excursion is late coming back, the boat will wait for you if you're on one of their shore excursions. If you're on one you purchased on your own, you're on your own.
We actually have a really good question here, because some people might not even be aware that that this is a thing or that it's even out there. Paul Callahan actually is asking us,
hi, Paul.
What do you think of Carnival Cruise Cash instead of the Cheers package? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't even know that Cruise Cash is an option or even what it is.
Well, first let me tell you what Cruise Cash is. When you log into Carnival.com, you can pre-purchase cash that literally works as cash on board. Whatever your account balance is at the end, whatever you've purchased in advance as Cruise Cash will be taken off of your balance. And on many cruises, I've bought Cruise Cash. And the reason to buy it is quite simple. Again, it goes back to being on board and constantly watching your balance. You know, if you book your cruise well in advance, you can buy Cruise Cash over time. You know, budget $20 here, $20 there, and buy Cruise Cash. And then by the time your cruise comes, you've got a substantial amount of cash that you saved for, and you've dedicated directly toward the cruise, which is different than just putting it aside at home, because you put it aside at home, you may have a bill come in, you end up using it towards it.
Right.
You know, where this, it's non-refundable, so you're going to use it on board.
Now, that brings a question. You just told them that it's non-refundable. However, there's people that are going to be out there asking you right now, what happens if you don't use all that cruise cash that you put in?
Non-refundable. It belongs to the cruise line. So on that last day, if you have cruise cash left, visit the casino, visit the shops, because cruise cash is non-refundable.
Or drink up.
Yeah, or drink up. So to say instead of buying the Cheers package, Paul, I really think it's apples to oranges, because if you use cruise cash, you're still going to be paying cash for every drink. So if you know you're only going to drink a couple drinks a day, yeah, I can see doing that instead of the drink package. But if you're a heavy drinker and you're going to do 15, or even, you only have to do like 5 drinks a day really for it to pay for itself, then I would strongly do the Cheers package instead.
Right. You know, another thing that some people may not realize too is that they do sell packages online for your rooms beforehand. And some things that you can buy is you can buy bottles of liquor for your cabin in advance. Maybe you want to touch a little bit based on that as far as how that works.
Yeah, when you go on Carnival.com, if you're a big drinker, you can actually buy whole bottles of alcohol in advance on Carnival.com, and they will deliver those bottles to your cabin on the first day of the cruise. Now, you're not supposed to drink that liquor outside of your cabin.
Right.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you everybody does. If you have a glass and you put liquor in it, no one's going to stop you.
I think their main thing is they don't want you taking the bottle out.
Yeah, you can't walk around with the bottle. You got to put it in a glass, walk around. It's really not a problem. We're going to do something really cool. Next Super Chat, who does $10 or more, I'm going to send you a t-shirt and a special prize that I'm not even going to announce what it is. I'm just going to send you something special that I think you'll really like. Yeah, I think it just came through.
No, that's actually, I'm scrolling back through.
All right.
Sorry,
and we appreciate the super chats. It really is what pays to make these videos. Again, if you're not subscribed to our channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the little bell notification. It's totally free, and YouTube will let you know every time we go live or every time we post a brand new video. And we post lots of videos on cruising. We're going to start doing videos on just travel in general as well that are not cruise specific, showing you some great tourist destinations. And again, if you want to support our channel financially, because it does cost money to make these videos, you can either hit the join button, and I'm not sure if there's one on this video, but it'll be on all of my other videos, and you can subscribe to the channel that way. It's $4.99 per month. Or you can do a super chat here. Again, it's really appreciated, not necessary, but really appreciated and really helps us out. What other questions do we have before we say goodbye for the night?
I don't really see much as far as any other questions. Just there's one asking about infants that they're going to be traveling. They're, I believe it said that they were gold members, but they're going to be traveling with an infant. I believe it said 8 months old, and I might have the facts wrong. I don't have it in front of me anymore. But they're just wondering, what maybe you suggest as far as any suggestions as far as traveling with a small infant.
Each cruise line has its own policy for infants. Again, this is your last chance to get a chat in, so if you have a question. Each cruise line has its own policy for infants. I believe they do have rollaway cribs that they'll put in your stateroom. I shouldn't say roll away on a cruise line, you can just roll away. You know what I mean. So let your travel agent know, let Carnival know if you're booked directly through Carnival at 1-800-CARNIVAL. Ask for the special needs desk, and they will be more than happy to help you there.
This question actually goes back to the purchasing the liquor online and having it brought to your room. It's actually a good question. And you can probably explain it better than anybody, is why can you have liquor in your room, but you cannot buy it from the duty-free shop and take it into your room?
Price.
Taxes.
The official answer will probably be because you're not paying taxes when you purchase it on board, so it's not really for consumption on board. But let's face reality. The real reason is because the liquor you buy in the gift shop is going to be discounted over what you normally buy it in the States for. The liquor that you purchase for your cabin is going to be a lot more expensive than the liquor you're going to buy in the duty-free shop, even for the exact same bottle of liquor. So the reason why you're not going to buy it in the gift shop and have it on board is because Carnival's not going to make, or any cruise line is not going to make as much money on that bottle of liquor. That's the real answer, and I think we all probably know that.
We did get our super chat, so this gentleman, or I'm sorry, this person I should say, will be receiving a t-shirt as well as the special gift, which is a secret. I don't even know. This is Honey Skiles.
I'm sending them the kids to let them babysit for a day.
There you go. If only our kids were little. Says he's a new follower and a Carnival Cruise addict.
Very cool. We're Carnival Cruise addicts too, as you can probably tell. What's their name?
Hani, H-A-N-I,
Hi, Hani.
Styles.
Thank you very much, Hani. We really appreciate the support. Welcome to the channel, and thank you so much. We appreciate it. So I think that's probably it for tonight. We may be coming back live here in a little while. The reason why we're here in Clearwater Beach, again, Scott and Nancy, our very close friends, allowed us to use their yacht in the marina, so we come down here once or twice a year, and we spend a few weeks here. But the reason why we're here at the Cigar Lounge, the Fusion Cigar Lounge, is if you're familiar with the Cannonball Run movies, they're actually doing the Cannonball Run this week, and they're stopping here in Clearwater Beach, and they're having a party upstairs tonight. So we're going to go upstairs and we're going to take some video of that, and I don't know if we're going to bring it to you live yet, so watch your YouTube tonight. We may bring it to you live. If nothing else, we are going to take some video and some pictures from up there. And just depends on our internet connection.
They are saying make sure you take lots of photos. So
yeah, from what I understand, they got some, it's almost like the movie. I mean, they got some really cool cars up there that they run this race in.
They were saying that they were going to have some Lamborghinis and some Ferraris amongst some other things. So
you think there'll be anybody dressed up like a priest in their Ferrari? Wasn't that in the Cannonball movie?
Elvis or something?
Yeah, wasn't Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin, weren't they dressed up as priests in one movie and drove a Ferrari in the old Cannonball Run movie?
It's been a long time. I couldn't tell you on that one.
For those of you who are young enough not to know what the Cannonball Run is, Google the movies. There's some hilarious movies from back in the 70s and 80s, and Yeah, they're doing it in real life. From what I understand, it's a cross-country race. They race on regular civilian roads. It's not sponsored by the government, so it's like at your own risk. You get a ticket. You get a ticket. It's not a sanctioned event by anybody, and they race in really cool cars, and they make pit stops along the way, and they go from Florida to California. From what I understand, it's supposed to be really cool. So they're going to stop here tonight.
We do have one more question before we head out. Is it easy to upgrade to a suite? And they have a suite, or they have a regular cabin booked in February of 2020, and they want to know how that would work and what they have to do about doing it.
Upgrading to a suite is rather easy. If you're looking for a free upgrade, probably not, especially to a suite. But it's real easy. If you're booked through Carnival, call them at 1-800-CARNIVAL. They'll give you today's pricing. You just pay the difference, and you should be okay. There are very select categories that are non-changeable, non-refundable, that it might be a little harder to upgrade. If you call me at 330-968-4300, I have a little bit of juice with the cruise line. I might be able to circumvent those rules and get you that upgrade. Just give me a call. Just give me a call, and I'm happy to help you. Don't call me tonight. Obviously, we're doing this here, and then I'll be drinking and enjoying my cigar. But if you do call tonight, just leave me a voicemail, and I'll give you a call tomorrow. And again, not only can help with that upgrade, if you're booked directly through Carnival and you want to transfer that booking to us, everything stays the same. Your pricing, the incentives Carnival offers you. As long as you haven't paid the final payment, we'll give you at least a $50 onboard credit towards your cruise. What else we got? Anything?
I think that was our last question that we had.
All right, guys, that is our live video from tonight. I am Sal. This is my gorgeous wife, Debbie. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Again, if you're here in the Clearwater Beach area or in the Tampa area, come on down to the Fusion Cigar Lounge. We will be here for at least a couple more hours. Come say hello. Also, look for our t-shirts coming online next month. And again, if you purchase one of our t-shirts, wear it on board. If you see me on board, you will get a free drink. Only one per cruise. I don't want to say every 10 minutes go through with the same person, same t-shirts, and can I get another free drink? One
per person per cruise.
One per person per cruise. So look out for the t-shirts. We're going to have a bunch of different options online. Should be around September 15th or so. So we'll have those online. For those of you who did a super chat tonight, thank you so much. If you got a t-shirt from your super chat, again, find me through my personal Facebook page. It's relatively easy to find. There's not that many Sal Piteras out there. Send me a message through Messenger with your name and address. We will be back in the office around September 1st, and we'll get that sent out to you. So again, thank you for watching. We'll see you on board your next cruise. That's it.
Bye, guys.